Doctor Okonkwo, nice to have you here in Jamaica. Dr. Davis, where are you from? The Bahamas. Doctor? Dr. Hanover. Wow. You're right here in Jamaica. Doctor? Dr. Rose. Dr. Rose, wonderful. Well, today our topic is I promise to me, very exciting. And our topic is the mind as a phenomenon. So, but I'll start off with my introduction to you guys. I'm Conroy Russell, Dr. Conroy Russell. I am from Jamaica also. Hey, over there, wonderful. Alright, so I'll start off by saying this. The mind has always been a phenomenon many seek to try to understand, right? However, it's very ambiguous to the point where a lot of different theories has been come in place. And I know that you guys have a different perspective on the topic. So many philosophers have tremendous contribution to the theory. A few have looked deeper into the mind, while some kind of find some different basis to speak on. Well, with this topic though, you will realize that the mind can be so broad and wide, and it has all the avenues that you can think of. Now, let me just share something with you quick. Guys. According to the Psychology Dictionary, the mind is defined as a nexus of activities and a sequence of adaptive response. Google Dictionary stated that the mind is the element of a person that enables them to be aware of the world and their experiences, to think and to feel and to act. It's a faculty of consciousness and thoughts. None of the definition basically state that the mind is really a single entity or it's general. As we browse through the mind, there are tenets of the various mind theories that we will zoom in on. In philosophy of the mind, dualism holds that the mind and the body is in some categorical way separate from each other, and that mental phenomena is in some respect non-physical in nature. In metaphysics, it is thought that there are two types of reality, the physical and the spiritual. Though these ideas partly explain the mind as being fully separated, most points to the singleness of each. There are ideas that are coming from Dr. René Descartes. He defended a point called the Cartesian dualism. This belief of our theory states that there are two kinds of foundation, which are the mental and the physical. To better understand what this means, it is basically saying that the mental can exist outside of the body. Hence, the separation of these two phenomena. Another kind of dualism is the property dualism, which alludes to the point or to the mind and matter perspective. Finally, this perspective states that these properties are two entirely different kinds of entities, even though they interact with each other. According to property dualism, there is a fundamental kind of thing in the world, which is the material substance. However, fundamental has two different kinds of properties, physical and the mental, as I stated earlier. So, we will be looking at the different perspective that you guys have. And we'll move on to what Dr. Davis actually have to say.
The mind and the body could be said to be two separate entities because the mind is developed based on the experiences one encounters during their development. However, both the mind and the body work together for our effective functioning. So, if the mind is not functioning properly, the body becomes slow in responding, and if the body is not working well, then depressive thoughts will interfere with our normal thinking process.
Okay, so another idea I will be looking at is the identity theory, which states the sensation of the mind correlates exactly to the physical movement of the brain. In other words, whatever happens at the neurological level does not go beyond the brain. So there is no such thing as a non-physical mind or processes taking place. According to Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, identity theory states that processes of the mind are identical to the processes of the brain. The brain is the most advanced organ which plays a vital role in everyone's life. However, in my personal view, neuro limit God's creation. There are non-physical effects on the body. Why can't there be a non-physical process that teaches and shows us to live? Never limit neurology just to physical, push beyond the physical into the non-physical. The idea of productive and identity disregards the belief of the qualia. The qualia is said to be the reasons we see things the way they are, for example, colors and shapes. There are a large number of perception and theories surrounding the mind being two separate entities. The mere fact that all humans can see objects in the same proves that the mind, or rather the neurological system, stands above the brain only.
Wikipedia defines functionalism as a theoretical level between physical implementation and behavioral output. It also states that mental states, beliefs, desires, being in pain, etc. are constituted solely by their functional role, when meaning their causal relations with other mental states, sensory inputs, and behavioral outputs. Functionalism developed largely as an alternative to the identity theory of mind. One of the main arguments of functionalism is superior to the identity and reductive theory. The theory holds on to the traditional beliefs and idea that mental states are within. Whatever direction they seek to look for, functionalism is a statistic theory that has facts to keep sustaining itself. John Searles denies the perspective about the mind being similar to the mind, hence another reason limitation should not be placed upon the neurology of humans, because machines have limitation, also has one distinct function to be controlled. As humans, we have choices.
So now let's look at materialism. So materialism believes that all things are physical. So the mind is physical. This belief wanders around the mind and the artistic views where there is no ghost, soul, nor spirit. According to Ready website, someone stated the perspective materialism is the position that mental states should be defined not by how they are implemented, but by their function within the system. That mental states should be defined not by how they are implemented, but by the functions within the system that define them.
I just want to thank you guys for being here today. It was very interesting and very intriguing talking to you guys. You have different points on the mind as a phenomenon. I think Dr. Davis has something to say, just to close her statement. Yes, Dr. Davis?
Alright, so finally, this brings us to a major point in this research that will prove that though there are numerous different perspectives coming from scholars, the fact will remain that the mind is a completely different phenomenon from the brain.
Wow, it was nice having you, Mrs. Rose. Dr. Taru, nice to meet you. Hey, Dr. Oko, nice. From Nigeria. Wonderful. Dr. Davis from Bahamas.
Yes.
Right. Thank you, everyone. Finally, guys, the topic that I spoke on was the mind as a phenomenon or phenomena. The basic idea of this is that the mind is separated from the brain. That's what the research is about. Now, the question to you guys is, what do you think about the mind being separated from the brain?